listeners. I have come again this morning to make a another broadcast and sensitize my youth, our youth, the youth of Nigerians, and general public at large. In today's broadcast, I want to discuss the issue on politics. Politics, in a sense, that the youth and the downtrodden has been marginalized in the real sense without their awareness. So the broadcast is like a clarion call, a wake-up call for the youth and the downtrodden to sit up and realize their potential and decide on the way forward to elect their choice of a candidate in all areas of political offices, from the local government, councillor, the chairman, the state, the senators, the House of Representatives, up to the presidency. It has always been said that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. But in Nigerian context, that philosophical statement is far-reaching. It is not a reality. There's no evidence to make it, to prove it as a reality in our political space, in Nigerian context. A philosopher, Seneca or Albert Einstein, that said that is an art of insanity to be doing things the same way over and over and expect different results. It is madness to use the same measure for a particular problem and suddenly you want to have a different result. About Einstein or Seneca, one of the philosophers said so, is art of insanity. Inequality of in 1960, when we got our independence, there has been an issue of ethnic and religious sentiments in our political space. Issue of money politics. This issue started existing from inception in 1962 or thereabout. 1962 or thereabout. And it has been controlling our Nigerian political space. Tribal, ethnic, religious, and money politics. We play money politics. The highest bidder takes the vote. And then after we voted the highest bidder, we suffer for the rest 4 years. And before the next election, the highest and we are living is capable leaders of tomorrow. Madness. Has played over and it has been that's the same results. But campaign and celebration They will have the youth and they will give appointment. They will give all kinds of favorism to their class, not to those that they have used to actualize their objective to get to power. And the youth has never realized this. Even the downtrodden has never realized this. Now, the question is this. After using you as a youth or as a downtrodden to achieve their political objective, what are your long run benefits? What do you benefit at the long run? Because they treat you equal with other citizens. We have two classes of citizens in Nigeria, the political elites and the non-political elites. If I want to borrow a word from S-man, the ex-serviceman that is recently campaigning for the benefit and the welfare of the military, he will say they will call them, what used to call them, the other ranks, the officers and the other ranks. In this context, the officers is meant to be the political class, and the other ranks is meant to be the non-political class, which is the youths and the downtrodden. If we are sensitive enough, what we do is to revolt against this ideology. We revolt against it ideologically, not with violence. In 1966, Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu led a revolutionary coup to overthrow the civilian government of Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. He was major, just 27 years old as of then when he led the coup. The idea behind it was to eliminate all the prominent political criminals, both from all the regions, northern region, western region, and eastern region, criminals. Though the coup was hijacked, it was hijacked and never actualized their dream. He was the one that introduced the idea of revolution in the military that was later copied by Jerry Rawlings, Thomas Sankara, and even our current Burkina Faso president, what's his name, Ibrahim Traoré. He was only 27 years old when he had the idea that the society is becoming more corrupt. The political elites were becoming more corrupt. There was massive killing in the western region. There was crisis between Akintola and the Awolowo's faction in the southwest region, and a huge corruption in political space. The coup was plotted to sanitize the system, but the coup was hijacked. Those that were sent in the west and in the east did not execute their plan. And the only northern states, northern region, were like the only region that bear the highest loss when the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was assassinated, was killed, and the premier of western region, northern region, Hamad Bello, was also assassinated. I think it was only Festus Ekutiebo, the Minister of Finance then, that was killed in the South Midwest region. Akiwe was not killed. Awolowo was not killed. I think Akintola was also killed, yes, if I may remember. So the coup didn't actualize its objective, because the objective was to sanitize the political space, take away all the military, all the civilian corrupt leaders, and restore the system with leaders that has conscience to lead the nation to the expected promised land. Now, if I tell the youth of today that Nigerian government does not have your interest at heart, and the only way to get your desire is to be very radical, not like military radicalism of Chukwuma Kaduna and Zogu or any other coup that they have plotted in Nigeria. This is ideological radicalism, the type that was practiced in India by Mahatma Gandhi, yes, in India, when they took over. And the one that practiced in the South Africa by Nelson, where they struggled power from the hand of the power can never come to you a platter of gold. From power to take power. Ideologically, let the youth of Nigeria refuse to be incited with religious and youth ourselves as nationalists. Think and speak and one society to let unify that will lead us to our expected dream. The people in power now, they have been in power for decades, 3, 4, 5 decades. Ojukwu was 33 years old, 34 years old. They are still in power. Led the Biafran War. Look at Chukwuma Kaduna Zog was only 27 years old when he brought the first coup plotter that nationalized the system. Obasanjo was 39 years become the first military head of state. Nnamdi Azikiwe, when he started campaigning for nationalism, struggle power from of the colonial, like I told you, Nzogo was only 28 years old. Sanitizing the system came upon him. There is no way we can sit down and want power to be given to us to our own advantage without thinking or acting. That was why when Buhari said that Nigerian youth are lazy, he never meant lazy in terms of hard work. He meant lazy in terms of ideology, because he knew that in their own time they were at their youth age. We struggled for. How old was Buhari when he came to power as the military head of state? He was at his early 30s. How old was he formed early 30s? How Americans he got fraternity University College, 53 or thereabouts. University early 20s. He formed the Pirates Confraternity as an idea. It was an ideologically formed to counter oppressors in the University College, Ibadan, 1953. He realized that the rising students are oppressing ideologically. The association that was named the Pirates. The Pirates were formed the oppressed, or the platform was used to use against the authority to liberate. What we see is our court to oppose the oppressed, killing their own poor member of the society, killing and regulating. That was not the idea behind the promotion of fraternity by Olusoyinka in 1953, thereabouts, when it was formed. The idea was to use the association for social justice and equality. We have so many bars in our society today. Just blackers, the pirates, to rob, kill, smoke, and the government is concerned. The government use them to oppress the society, buy into it because they want money. That is stupidity. That's not ideological. It's stupidity. Proud, made them feel cool. They are subjected after use, and the politicians succeeded in winning the election. They will be dumped and be sustained with peanuts. And those of them that doesn't have internal constraints will go to crime. That is why we are seeing high rate of crime in our society. The rate of crime, like Robert K. Merton will tell you in his strength theory, that crime sometimes is a product of the society. The society produces its own of criminals. Those criminals that we are seeing today, the kidnappers, the armed robbers, and the all kinds of things we are seeing, these are frustrated citizens that were politically used and misused. And the politicians cannot sustain them. They all innovated into crime. So we retreat into drugs. We have them everywhere, smoking in their homes, smoking, what do they call it, Nkurumiri, or whatever they call it. They got high and euphorially forget about the realities of life. Those are the people that what's his name, the criminologist that propagated the strength theory, Merton called the retreatist. They will retreat and become useless to the society, turn to drugs addicts, drunkards, and all kinds of things. While the other ones will innovate, turn to criminals. The other group will rebel and become rebellious. The Boko Harams and the IPOBs and all kinds of terrorist group we have in our country. These are the products of the politicians, because the youth are not ready to think theologically. Let's unite as a nation. The youth should unite. The downtrodden should unite. Let's make one voice. against the political class. You cannot tell me that somebody that became a senator at the age of 40 in 1992 and pioneered the formation of NADECO, that is a National Democratic Coalition, in 1993, is still in power till today. And when it calls for campaign, the youth and the masses will rally around him to vote him back to power. And the same people are telling us that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. For how many decades have they been in power, controlling the system without giving up? The youth campaign for them. The downtrodden campaign for them. Rig election for them. Cause mayhem for them. Because of peanuts, give you little cash. If we don't wake up ideologically, we will keep on struggling and smiling. Like the legend Afrobeat fella of his blessed memory, Fela Adekunle Kuti sang, suffering and smiling. We suffer and we smile. If we realize our potential, we can unite ourselves. We can take away tribal, ethnic, religious, and money politics away from Nigerian politics and face the reality to choose our right person to lead us in all level of political appointment, starting from the local government to the local government councillor, local government chairman, the state governors, the state house of assembly, the senate president, the senate, the house of representatives, and even the presidency. We unseat anybody. We have the power to do so. But do we have the endurance and the discipline to endure? That's the price we will pay. Discipline and endurance. That's the price we will pay. And say no when they want to incite us with ethnic sentiment or tribal sentiment or money politics. We say no. We have an objective. Our objective is to decide to elect a credible candidate that will lead us to promised land. We will be surprised that we get it right. We get one credible, powerful leader that's truly a leader, just what Ibrahim Traoré is doing in Burkina Faso. And the Nigerian system will change economically, politically, and otherwise. And crime rate will reduce. The youth will be empowered economically and politically. And that is what is development. Until we do so, we keep struggling and hoping that it's God that will save us. I have said it over and over. God has given Nigeria all that it takes to be a successful nation. It is now left in the hands of Nigerians to realize that and take their destiny in their own hands. But before we do so, we have to reorientate ourselves. We need to reorientate ourselves. There are so many thoughts that we carry along or we are incited to believe by the ruling class. They use ethnic, they use religion, and they use money to lure us into believing that we are sectionalized. We must believe in our own group. If one good Nigeria will become Nigerian president and believe in nationalism, which Dr. Azikiwe preached in the 60s, nationalism, one Nigeria, that the wealth of this nation will be distributed equally, powers distributed equally, without regards to race or ethnic affiliation or religious affiliation. Every man gets his own rights, equal rights in wealth distribution. I don't think anybody will be talking about what do you call it, regional or ethnic politics again. What we'll be talking about is credibility, and innovation. So please, I make this broadcast, or this whatever you want to call it, to sensitize our youth and the downtrodden that the system we are running today is a manipulated system. Those in power has been in power from 60s. They have been in power in the 70s. They have been in power in the 80s. And they're still in power in today. And when they come for political office, we campaign for them. We rig election for them. We kill for them. And the same people are telling us that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. We cannot be leaders of tomorrow when there is no vacancy in leadership position. It's not possible. We need to plan to eliminate them ideologically, not with violence. We must revolt. There must be a revolution of idea. People must sit and discuss and agree as a nation, united force, and force them out of power. Power is not given. Power is taken by force. The force we are going to use is ideological force, not armed force. I'm not talking about ammunition. I don't believe in armed struggle. I believe in ideology. We unseat them with ideology. Unified effort as one nation, one youth. The Hausa man, the Igbo man, the Igbo, we sit together, agree, one ideology, implement. We try to build in credibility and integrity. We put you in the power. If you are able to deliver, we keep on promoting you. If you cannot deliver, we eliminate you. You now have voting power. No other. Nobody should incite you with money or with tribal sentiment or religious sentiment. Refuse to accept such incitement. Use it. We are getting. Let's change our strategy to get a different result. If you agree with me, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walkover. It's going to require a lot of energy, discipline, endurance, long suffering, commitment, hard work to go in this direction. But if we do, I will guarantee you that there will be hope for Nigeria in the next few years. Everybody will celebrate and jubilate for a progressive Nigeria, where citizens are well taken care of in all aspects. The academic sector will be developed. The health sector will be developed. The political sector will be developed. The economic sector will be developed. And even our religious sector, we will start preaching the reality. Christ never came for material things. Christ came actually for redemption, to reconcile to our Creator. The same thing with Prophet Muhammad. They never came for material wealth. But because of the economy that we are going through in our society, the preachers are now preaching prosperity. And when we go to church, we think that God is to give us wealth. No, the government is to give us wealth, distribute wealth equally, not the church. In as much as God helps in so many ways, but the government has the sole responsibility to distribute our common wealth equally. If they are distributing the wealth equally, man will go to church to worship God, not to seek for miracle anymore. Yes, that's the truth. That's the truth. So until we think right and get it right, we keep struggling. We keep struggling. Let's think right, and God will help us. As citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, God will help us as youths of Nigeria. God will help us as the classless citizens of Nigeria. The political class does not have any plan for the classless citizen. Their plan is centralized within themselves. If you continue with what you have been believing before, and I will guarantee you that you will still get the same results you have gone before over and over. Until we change the strategy, we cannot get a different result. That is what I need to tell you. I think they say that the word is enough for the wise. Thank you for listening. I hope you will share this message. Spread the good news. Let everybody hear this good message for the progress of this country. God bless us all. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you for listening and watching.